What's up everyone, raiyamo here, back with another anime review. This is going to be on Akashic Records episode 10. Now, I had a little pause because I kind of forgot what episode it was, but it's episode 10. So yeah, I didn't review episode 9 last week because I was sick, and now I'm just gonna try and speed forward and get through parts and catch up. So yeah, so I finally caught up with the anime, even though it was only like a week, I was a week behind. Um, both of these episodes were pretty good. So episode 9 was great. Episode 10, I know every time it has like after a major arc is finished, it has this sort of cool down period where they start to build up the next big climactic arc. And of course, we're nearing the end of the series. I don't know if they're gonna adapt anymore for the light novel for a second season or anything, but so far what I've seen from Akashic Records has completely blown my expectations of what I initially thought and expected from the series when I first saw it. When I was looking through what I should be watching for, yeah, fall with no not fall but spring anime season. So yeah, I'm kind of glad, not kind of, I'm really glad that I stuck with this series. So close to through to the end. It's just an enjoyable ride. It has all sorts of elements that I like, and so this episode introduces a key aspect is that the organization is trying to, well, the empire is working in full force here. Their actions in the previous episodes are having concussions, not concussions, but like ripples and effects towards here. We get introduced to this guy called Leos, who is Sistine's fiance. She's the fiance. Yeah, he's the fiance, and she's the fiance. Okay, I'm just whatever. But yeah, they're both engaged to each other. They're supposed to get married, and he's obviously in cahoots with the guy who shows up in the opening song with the monocle and everything. The evil final boss of this, of the entirety of this, running airtime of Akashic Records. And so I kind of mistook him, Leos, to be honest, to be the guy from the opening. But then when we see him in the carriage talking with the guy from the opening, I was like, wait a second, okay, they're two different people. So that kind of threw me off. But what's interesting is that this guy says he wants to show the world, wants to show Glenn his justice. So I'm going to assume that him and Glenn, Glenn wants to become a major justice, or that's over for him. And so these two characters might have a long-standing history, or the guy is just like, he believes that Glenn is fighting for and all that is nothing compared to his brand of justice, I guess. I don't know. We don't really know too much about the character to get a clear, concise picture of him. But from what we're going to gather, he's gonna be another evil bastard that's going trying to overthrow the empire at this point. And I really want to see, Glenn kick his ass and everything. I mean, so far I'm really liking his character. He's a jokester, he's all that, and he's reliable when he needs to be reliable, and he's just a great funny character. And I think he also makes the anime as well because of his actions and stuff, and it's just great. So yeah, Akashic Records really blew me out of the water. And this episode is going to set us up for that big finale. Now, of course, I think so far of nearly every arc that has been present so far had a really interesting, why did I just say that again, climax to it, whether it be finding that the queen was wearing a cursed necklace that would kill her and all that, the whole shenanigans, the terrorist uprising, and then we got the conclusion with the real, the revival magic arc, that even though it's over, it's there, it's completed, and the terrorist organization has it, the Society of Light or Magic or whatever the frick they're called, with the crazy ass maid. And it's just crazy because judging from what's going to happen so far, and judging from the opening song, I'm going to guess that we can hopefully see a big climactic battle in the final episode. I'm just really excited. I mean, if the light novel is still going on, I really do hope they make a second season, because so far it's this anime is just running strong for me. And so this episode, of course, was just a build up foreshadow episode. It had a lot of things going on for me, of course, trying to make Leos appear as friendly as possible. Glenn challenging him to like a duel over Sistine, and I think Sistine, right? Is that I might have kind of lost focus near the part, because I kind of got a little bit of impatient with Lilios and his antics and the flirting between Sistine and him. It was just like I kind of tuned out a bit. But we do get into some interesting facts that this thing called angel dust or whatever has infiltrated the city, and it basically turns people who use it into like mindless husk that another mage can basically control as their pawns. And the girl who looks like Sistine, from the opening, is basically fell victim to this. So what we can tell from conversation that occurs in this episode, in the bar of Glenn and all that, that she falls victim to this, and that Glenn is told not to get involved, and